you're planning on doing a kitchen on a budget, you're going to want to do as much of the work yourself as you can. So if you're handy, you can take on the whole job yourself. But even if you're not, you can save a heap of money just by project managing the entire build. Either way, we'll give you all the advice so you feel confident taking on a brand new kitchen. Before you go too crazy ripping everything out, have a look at the layout of your old kitchen. If you're happy where your oven is and your cooktop and your sink, well then you can actually obviously upgrade those, but you will save so much money if you don't have to replumb or rewire. Now this kitchen is a little bit dated, but it's not in bad condition at all. You can obviously advertise it online, you could either sell it or you could give it away. You'd be amazed what people will come to your house and pick up and take away for you. Or if you have some other space in your house, like I'm looking at these carcasses and I think they can be repurposed perfectly in the garage. You guys look like you've got this under control. I'm not trying to get out of the hard work, but this might be my last bit because I have to go to Bunnings and do a bit of a kitchen planning session. It's just coincidence, I promise. So when it comes to designing a kitchen, there is no better place to be than when you have all the options out and about so you can really get an idea, start to visualise what you're planning, and then ask the experts for some help. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Emma. I'm Jo.
Hi, Jo. Lovely to meet you.
Oh, I'm so excited about meeting you because you are hopefully going to help me enormously.
Okay.
We basically want to do a kitchen. The only clues I've got is the homeowner said they wanted white and timber.
Lovely. Let's go and have a look. So in terms of the door panels and that,
Yeah.
so we want to stick to a white.
Yeah. What would you suggest?
I would say something maybe not a full gloss, but maybe like a macaroon, which is our silk, and it's beautiful.
That's lovely. It's something
yeah,
to touch
it
even, isn't it?
really is lovely, yeah. Let's have a look at some benchtop options.
We definitely want stone if possible for the
Stone?
bench top, just to practicality and easy to keep clean and...
Sure. This is our stone colour range here.
God, you've got heaps, don't you? That with a little bit more detail in it.
Yeah.
So, see, it's all coming
Lovely
together.
Fish. Yes.
So, I mean, anyone can let you come into the store and have this service, can't they?
Absolutely.
What
yeah.
if you can't get to the store, though?
So we also have in-home consultations as well, where we can
Okay.
go out to the customer's home and doing the design there and then on the spot.
What about virtually?
Virtually, absolutely. We're doing virtual appointments as well, so we can basically guide you
Yeah.
through the measuring process.
I thought it was going to take longer. I might have to go back and actually do some more of the demo. Emma, thank you for your help.
You're
It was
very
awesome.
welcome.
Thank you.
See you, bye-bye.
So this is what I'm talking about. Have a look at this. This is a really, what I would call a safe kitchen. I mean, to be honest, it's not dissimilar to the colour scheme that our homeowners have asked for. Obviously, you know, natural flooring and a white basic kitchen. But the beauty about coming here is you take 3 steps and then all of a sudden you've got this ultra-modern kitchen and it just shows you can customise it in any which way you want. Awesome. So the great thing is Emma and the team at Bunnings have done all the thinking for me, which means all I have to do is put together these carcasses. So a great tip when you're renovating a kitchen or really any room in your house is to write yourself out a little to-do list. Now, I've got one on my phone. One, it's incredibly satisfying when you can actually press the button once you've achieved something. But 2, it just gives you a really good overview of what you still have to do and the order it needs to be done in. Extremely satisfying when you tick it off. You have to remember a couple of things. One, you're working on their time frame, but with enough notice, you can still line things up so they actually happen in the sequence and the time frame that you want. Generally, when your time frame blows out, that's when your budget blows out as well. It's a good way to stay on top of it. Okay, Sean, so if somebody's watching this at home, they could be a little bit alarmed by what they've seen, but there's no need for panic, is there?
We just need to start from one spot, get everything nice and level, either by using a level or we can use a laser.
And that's what the adjustable feet are for, aren't they?
Exactly, you get the footprint in and then we work from there.
All right, let's go. Amazing. Right, let's get that in. Greg, this is coming together so well. You must be happy with how it's looking.
Yeah, it looks really good.
This is literally the bench tops that we saw in Bunnings. Now, we talked about using them just on the edge of the island bench, but we've actually decided to use them for all the verticals here. Here, we're actually going to make a full case for the fridge. So it's going to be the two verticals this way. Then we're actually going to put one horizontally across the top, and that will come out. That will close all of this in. But then there is a little bit of trickery here. I mean, why would you use a full bench on this end panel? We haven't. We've just used a little bit of trim, so you still get the effect that it's there. And we're going to continue that across the top here as well, and it is going to look absolutely fabulous. People talk about the triangular space when you're designing a kitchen. Quite simply, it is the space between your fridge to your sink to your oven cooktop. And the reason that you want to think about it is you don't want to be carrying things too far between each of those really key points in your kitchen. You want them as close and efficient as possible. Now, I'm not sure what you think, but obviously all that time that we spent with the kitchen plan is starting to really pay off. Very soon, by the time I put the finishing touches, the doors and the stone goes on, add a few appliances, I think this is going to be a showcase kitchen. So earlier we started a full kitchen reno with the idea of being able to show you a whole bunch of tips so that you could manage your own build. I also have my little checklist handy and we are ripping through that little list as well. I actually cannot tell you how satisfying it is to do that. But with all of our cabinetry in, it's now time for the bench tops, and you know what that means. So earlier I went to Bunnings and they didn't just help me with the overall kitchen design, but they helped me pick my material palette. But they actually go one step further than that. They organised the professionals to install the stone bench tops. Hello, Brad. The beautiful thing about having someone like Brad along is it means that he will measure everything perfectly. You'll have lovely, fine, clean join lines. And that's important because if you have an ugly join line, I promise you, and you would know, it will be the thing that you will walk in and stare at and it will drive you bonkers for the rest of your life. So, look, it's easy for me to say that. It's over to you to work your wizardry, and I'll leave you to do all of your measurements. Thanks, Brad. A really great tip is always to work out your lead time for when it's actually going to be installed. The best way to do that is actually check with the experts. Usually it's around 2 weeks' time, but they will know literally to the day when they can get it done. But what a difference we've made here. We have doubled our bench space. We now have somewhere informal where you can sit to have a meal or do some homework. Now, we still have the drawers and the cupboards to go on, a couple of appliances to go in. That always makes a massive difference. But then Tyler is going to arrive to put up our splashback, and that is going to be the piece de resistance.
Oh, I can hardly breathe. It's such a masterpiece. Keep doing what you're doing to me. Keep doing what you're doing to me. Keep doing what you're doing to me. Keep doing what you're doing to me.
So we've chosen these little finger mosaic tiles, and the decision that we have to make is whether or not we go horizontal or vertical. But when you stand back, everything that you're mainly seeing from back a bit in the kitchen is vertical, so I'm going to actually install them this way. But look, another tip for you is spend your money where you need to. Now, tiles like these look fantastic, but they are an absolute nightmare to install yourself. In fact, I would recommend, unless you have fairly big, easy tiles that require very little cutting, if it's fiddly and you need it absolutely perfect, that's where you spend your dollars. Get the expert in, he'll have it done in next to no time, and it will be done perfectly. This looks unreal. What colour grout have you gone?
It's the old buff.
Buff, okay. That looks so amazing, especially when you stand back.
Yeah, the other job.
Yeah, off to another one.
like that.
See you, Hash. But seriously, he's got a good point. There's so many different colours with grout, and it's just as important as your tile choice. So I think some people think there's like 2 or 3 choices that you get to decide between, but in actual fact, there are hundreds of different grout colours. And you can see, just by going with that sort of more neutral, that it ties in with the timber and everything else in this room. Looks fantastic.
You and I gonna own the night.
I don't know about you guys, but I get excited about tapware. look at this beauty. It is gorgeous. It's got one of the nozzles that you can actually pull down and do your directional spray. And all we have to do is attach that. Looks excellent. So we've already shown you one way where we thought outside the box. Remember that these were the bench tops that we've actually used to basically trim our entire kitchen. Well, similarly, this is a railing, like a balustrade. And simply by cutting it in half, we have pre-made handles that will go on the door, and because they have a curved finish, it continues with our beautiful curved theme. How cool is that? Doors and handles done. So you notice that we haven't actually continued on with the cabinets on this underside of the bench, but the reason why the existing island bench didn't actually allow for another full-size cabinet. So instead, we decided not to panic, but to make a feature out of it. We've made this open plan shelving. Now, you can obviously put cookbooks or knickknacks, but this is also a great place so that when anyone is sitting here, they can pop in their purse or their handbag. Fantastic. Plus, it looks good. Well, we did it. This kitchen makeover, I think, is absolutely fabulous. I mean, how much brighter, how much more welcoming, how much more modern and timeless is this kitchen? If you're going to spend as much time in a kitchen as we all do, you want it to be a beautiful space. And you know what? I think we have achieved it. Which means that I can tick the final thing off my checklist, which actually said, don't lose your mind. And I didn't.